una persona a la vez. Si estamos nosotros tres nomás y nos quedamos nosotros tres, seguimos en Google Meet sin problema. Pero si se unen otras personas, dos más, ahí sí vamos a utilizar Zoom, ¿ok? Pero eso no es, pues no es la gran cosa. All right, so now let's begin. We're going to begin today's class with a warm-up. That's right, a warm-up. So let's take a look at this warm-up we're going to do here. And today we're going to look at this warm-up with vocabulary. So let's see, Carlos, I am going to give you the opportunity to choose the category. What category would you like to talk about here?
Sports.
Sports. Okay. Carlitos, I need you to tell me a sport that can be played by one person. And Lucia, you also think of a sport that can be played by one person. A sport where one person plays. So think about it, and when you are ready, you can tell me.
I start?
You have to think one sport, a sport that can be played by one person.
Tennis.
Tennis, says Lucia. Okay, tennis. Carlos, what do you say?
Swim.
Swimming. Ooh,
Swimming.
That's a good one too. Okay. So Lucia said tennis, Carlos said swimming. Vamos a ver quién. Oh, the number one was golf. Number two. Oh, we have bowling. Hunting. Number three was swimming. And I can't believe it. You know why, Lucia? Tennis. Well, you need another person, right, to play one against one. Pero sí, entiendo que yo también hubiera pensado. All right, very good, very good. Let's do another one. Another question, Carlos. Name a contact sport. Can you name a contact sport? Lucia, also think about a sport. Name a contact sport.
Boxing.
Boxing. Very good. Carlos, what do you think?
Soccer.
Soccer. Let's see what we have. Number one is rugby. Number two, wrestling. Number three, hockey. Number four, boxing. Points for you, Lucia. And karate. They were the top five. Top five. All right, let's do another one here. So está empatado. 1-1. 1-1. All right, let's go to another category. Lucia, why don't you choose another category this time?
Travel.
Travel. Very good. Today, in fact, we're going to do a lot of conversation with travel. So let's take a look at these here. Okay, so Lucia, name an animal that travels in groups. An animal that travels in groups. Carlos, you can also think of an animal. Bears. Bears. Okay, Carlos, what do you say?
Elephants.
Elephant, that's a good one too. You said birds. We got wolves, fish, lions, elephants, and deer. Okay, so this one's for Carlos here. Let's think of another one. Lucia, name a reason a person might travel. A reason a person might travel. Una razón por la cual una persona viaje. What is a possible reason a person can travel?
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Good answer. Carlos, what do you think? That's a fantastic answer, Lucia, because we usually say business or pleasure, right?
I don't know to say conocer, to know.
Just to get to know, right? To get to know a place.
To get to know.
Get to know a place. Let's see. Business was number one. Number two is vacation. Number three was visit family. And number four is retire. Nobody got it. But you know what? It's very strange because Lucia said pleasure. And normally when you buy a ticket for traveling, sometimes it's very common for somebody to ask you at the airport, business or pleasure? Is it for fun or is it for, for work? So I think here vacation is similar to pleasure because vacation is pleasure, right? Vacation is when we're going to relax. We're not going to work. So I think that one can work for you, Lucia. All right. Let's do another one here. Carlos, choose another category, please.
Technology.
Technology. Let's see here what we got. Carlos, name something found on a computer. Name something found on a computer.
Mouse.
Mouse. Good answer. Lucia, what do you think?
Printer or print.
Printer. Okay. Keyboard was number 1. Monitor was number 2. Internet number 3. Video games number 4. And Windows number 5. Now, I think you guys were thinking about, technology that you can use with a computer. But on a computer is en el computador, right? Dentro del computador. So maybe that's why. All right, let's do another one. Lucia, tell me this one here. Other than making phone calls, tell me something you use your telephone for besides phone calls.
For learn idiom.
To learn idioms.
Idioms.
All right. To learn languages. Okay, Carlos, what do you think?
Oh my God. I want, a ver, tweet,
Oh, tweet. Wait, remember, for your phone. Oh, so looking for a restaurant.
Okay.
Looking for a restaurant? Okay, so Lucia says learned languages. Carlos says looking for restaurants. Number 1 answer, text. To text somebody. The second answer was games. The third answer was internet, which is, I think, can be similar to what you said, Lucia, and you, Carlos, because we need the internet to learn a language and everything else. Camera, of course, our camera. And GPS. All right. All right, we have here Hazel joined the group. Hello, Hazel. Welcome to class. Nice to have you here.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, let's do one more now that Hazel is here. Is that your name, Hazel? Is that you?
Is Asael.
Oh, Isael.
Asael.
Asael. And where is that name from? That's an interesting name.
Excuse me, what?
Where is that name from? Where did your parents?
I think maybe it's Hebrew. Hebrew, yeah.
It's a Hebrew name. Interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
It's a Bible name.
It's a Bible name, yeah.
Bible name, yeah.
Asael, well, now that you're here, we're doing this warm-up game where you're going to choose a category. We already used sports, technology, and travel. Choose another category, and I'll show you how to play this game really quick here.
Sports.
Sport, okay. We used sports already, and we already used technology and travel. Another one.
Technology.
Oh, we used that one too. We use sports, technology, and travel. Anyone different from those 3?
Hobbies.
Hobbies, that's a good one. All right. So now I want you guys to think of a hobby that people often have. So let's think about popular hobbies. Asael, you think of one. Lucia, you think of one. Carlos, you think of one. And whenever you're ready, Asael, since you were here and you chose a category, why don't you tell me yours?
Listen to music.
Listen to music. All right. Lucia, what do you say?
Collect art and maybe maybe all things.
Collect art. All right. Carlos, what do you say?
To read a books.
Reading books. So we have reading, art, and music. Let's see. Number 1, reading. Carlos, look at you. Number 2 was stamp collecting. Very similar to what you said, Lucia. And the third one was golf. Wow, I didn't expect that. Gardening was another one. Knitting. Knitting is tejer, for those of you that don't know knitting. And finally, blank. We got nothing. You know, I'm very surprised music was not in the category. All right, let's think of another one here. Name a hobby people take up when they retire. Now, here we have these two words, take up. ¿Qué significa take up? Because we know take es tomar y up es arriba. ¿Cómo así que tomar arriba? Well, we have these words in English called phrasal verbs. Son verbos fraseales. Normalmente es un verbo y una preposición. The most common one is wake up, sit down. Those are very common ones, right? But take up, that's a phrasal verb that means begin. Usually it's for an activity, in this case, hobbies. So name a hobby people take up when they retire. Name a hobby people begin when they retire. Asael, why don't you start this one off?
Fishing.
Fishing, that's a good one. Lucia, what do you think?
Play de jugar a las cartas. Play
Cards.
Play cards.
Okay, play cards. Okay, Carlos, what do you think?
Traveling.
Traveling. All right, let's see what number 1 is here. Just golfing is everywhere. Everybody golfs. I don't know anybody that golfs, but it's on the list here. Fishing. Look at you, Asaed. That one's yours, man. Traveling, Carlos. That one is yours. Knitting. Don't know anybody that knits. And gardening. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, we're gonna stop there, guys. That's enough for that warm-up game there. All right, I just wanted to warm up and for you to get, you know, loose, your English muscles loose. All right, so let's begin, guys. Like I said, I was telling Lucia and Carlos that it's possible that we'll use Zoom if more people join the class. If it's just us 4, we can do something different here. Let's see. We're going to begin today's class, and today we're going to be talking a lot about traveling. In fact, most of the class is going to be talking about a conversation about traveling and things like that. So let's do that first. We're going to look at this presentation here, and let's see what we got here. We got traveling. As you see, I made this presentation here that has a little bit of traveling pictures and stuff. I wanted to remind you guys that it's very important to have good posture when we are in class, you know, because it's 2 hours. Also, remember to pay attention to the class. This class is for you, so you enjoy every second. And also make sure that, you know, your computer is working. You have a microphone that is working well. Don't forget to take notes for maybe the information that is new for you. And make sure you are in a good space to receive the class. All right. Now, today we're going to talk about your future, or maybe what is happening in your life, right? And what are you planning? What are your plans for your next vacation? Where will you travel? What country will you visit? What will you do or see? Any special landmarks you are planning to see? Now, landmarks, this word here, we don't have a literal translation for this word. No hay una palabra que traduzca esta palabra de inglés a español literalmente. Tendríamos que usar una frase. Y landmark es aquellos lugares o estatuas, objetos que son muy característicos de ese lugar. Por ejemplo, en París, we have the Eiffel Tower. That is the most popular landmark, right? Let's see, in Brazil, they have, you know, the Jesus statue. That is a very popular landmark in Brazil. So that's landmark. It's a word we don't have in Spanish. All right, so we're going to use today, in today's class, we're going to use a couple of tenses, a couple of things. But the first thing we're going to use is will and going to. Remember that we use will and going to talk about the future. Here are some examples. I'm going to visit Italy. I will eat some delicious and authentic pasta. I will visit the Roman Colosseum. I'm going to drink a nice Italian wine. Remember, with going to, we always use the verb to be. And with will, we do not put anything on the verb. We do not conjugate the verb. We do not change the verb. It just stays normally. All right, so we're going to do some examples here, and I need you guys to help me with what is Mr. Bean going to do. Lucia, I'm going to start with you. Can you please use going to and complete the sentence, please?
He is going to celebrate his birthday.
Very good. Very good. Asael, why don't you do this one here? What is Mr. Bean going to do?
He going to buy products?
Right, he's going to buy products. Very good. Carlos, I need you to help me with this one. Let's look at the first picture. And can you please make a complete sentence with this information? Carlos, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. What is going to happen?
So we know she, cook, bake. How can you make a sentence with that? What is going to happen? What is she going to do?
She is going to cook, bake.
She's going to cook a cake. I have to change that. She's going to cook a cake. I put a B instead of a C. That's my fault. She's going to cook a bake. Actually, she's going to bake a cake. We don't cook a bake. We don't cook a cake. All right. Thank you so much, Carlos. I'm going to go now with Lucia. Lucia, can you make a sentence here with these words?
They travel are going to around the world.
They are going to travel around the world. They are going to travel around the world. Okay, thank you, Lucia, for your participation. Let's go now with Asael. Can you help me with this one?
He's rob a house. He robbed a house. He's going rob house.
Yes, he's going to rob a house. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now let's do a little bit of pronunciation practice with these future tenses. Let me show you what this is all about. Carlos has used this this webpage before, but for Lucia and Asael, maybe this is a new one for you. So let me show you how this works. This is a very good webpage to practice your pronunciation and obviously your speaking. So let's do this one here. And let's see. Let's do this one with some future tenses here. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. You can see it. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. All right. So here you will see we have some sentences. All of these sentences are going to use going to or will, which are the topics we're going to use for some of today's class and conversation. You see a sentence here. You are going to click on the green icon to listen to the sentence.
I am going to China this summer to see my family.
And when you are ready, you are going to click the blue icon to speak, and then you click on it again. So it's when you finish speaking. So lo hunden para que capte el sonido. Cuando terminen de hablar, lo vuelven a hundir para que pare de captar el sonido. I'm going to do the first one with you, and it says like this. I am going to China this summer to see my family. And then at the bottom here, you're going to get a score. And usually if you get 80% or more, you can go to the next one. Then you click on continue. Now, what happens if maybe you don't have good pronunciation of a word or many words? This is what will happen. I'm go to China this summer to my family. So I did not pronounce some words on purpose, right? I pronounced it incorrectly. I pronounced it wrong. And the words that you pronounce wrong, you will see that they are in red. You can click on those words and it will give you some tips on how to better pronounce the word. You can listen to how it is pronounced correctly.
Going.
And how you pronounced it. Go. So you can see the difference. All right, so let's do these sentences. 12 sentences in total. I'm going to share this link in the WhatsApp group so we can use it and do it. I just shared it in the WhatsApp group. As soon as you are finished, guys, somebody please raise your hand so I know to continue. Okay, remember, if you have any questions, you can always write me internally. Good luck to you guys. See you soon. Lucia, you have a question? You are mute. You're on mute, Lucia. I'm sorry.
Es que como es mi primera clase, la verdad que no entiendo bien cómo es la dinámica.
Ok. Acabé de compartir, yo comparto los links por el grupo de WhatsApp, de modo que cuando se acabe la clase ahí tengan los links de nuevo ahí para...
Y entonces ya la clase la hacemos directamente por ahí.
No, pues van a seguir conectados, no se desconecten, hacen este ejercicio y una vez termine el ejercicio yo vuelvo a activar mi micrófono, por así decirlo.
Bien, bien. Teacher,
All right,
teacher,
Lucia, how we
sí,
doing?
¿le puedo hacer una consulta? ¿Cómo
Sure.
serían las clases? ¿Cómo es? O sea, ¿estudiamos algún día o no estudiamos nada? O...
Ok, no, no hay ningún problema. Claro que sí, Lucía. Como mencioné antes, este curso es más enfocado hacia conversación. Van a haber unos temas que vamos a ver. Vamos a repasar la gramática por encima, pero la idea es poder aplicar realmente esos temas. Sin embargo, si usted siente al final de la clase que quiere un poquito más de refuerzo, quiere un poco más de ejercicios de ese tema, yo con mucho gusto le puedo compartir el material para que usted pueda hacer ejercicios y reforzar más esos temas en particular.
Nosotros no estudiamos más que tomamos la clase y nada más. No,
Bueno, la idea es que sí hagan un trabajo paralelo a las clases, pero antes de que terminen las clases yo les indico cuál sería.
bien. ¿Y todos empezaron hoy o soy la única?
No, you are new, but so is Azael is new. Carlos has been, he has taken various levels already. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we have more people. There's more people. They just didn't join. They didn't come to class today, but there's more people in the group. Okay. All right. So this is the idea, guys. I think Carlos told me he finished, so we can continue. We can continue. I hope you did well with the practice. Lucia, how was that practice? That pronunciation practice?
Good. I think my English was better, but in reality, no.
Well, you know, the thing is, I think that your English is good. It could be a couple of things. There's couple of factors here. When you don't use a microphone, sometimes it doesn't capture all of the sound. So it could be that maybe you have to get closer to the computer. Also, it's very important to talk slowly. The slower we speak, the better we pronounce. It's like when you're learning a song, maybe on an instrument, you have to go very slow first. And then when you can play that a certain number of notes, you can go faster and faster. It's the same with speaking. First, we must talk slow to pronounce each of the phonetic sounds correctly. And when you're ready, then you can begin to talk a little bit faster. But it's all about a question of practice. But I'm going to give you some good tips to help you with that, so don't worry about it. Also, I want to remind you that what you can do is a very good exercise for those of you that you say, I want to better my English, but I don't want to sit down and study all day. I recommend you watch a movie in English or a series in English. I recommend more a series in English with subtitles in English. This way you are listening and you are reading, and this is what we need in order to produce. The skills of reception, which are reading and listening, is what we need in order to speak and write. Because people say, es que solamente aprendo si hablo. Usted puede hablar con la pared 2 horas, no aprender nada. Because there's no feedback. So we need the information to produce. And the only way to get that information is by reading and listening. So I really recommend you take a series and you watch it with subtitles in English. Your vocabulary will get better. Obviously, your listening will get better. Your reading will get better. And your writing and speaking, believe it or not. All right, guys, so let's do something else here. Let's go to this activity I wanted to do with you guys. Like I said, today we're going to talk a little bit about traveling. And I wanted to do a little bit of role plays with you guys so we can do this. So the role play we're going to do today, guys, is you are going to be a travel agent. A travel agent. That's right. Carlos, Lucia, and Azael, you guys are going to be travel agents. And I want you to investigate or think of 5 places your customers can go. But I'm going to give you each a country. A cada uno les voy a dar un país y deben investigar estas cosas. Tranquilos que yo lo vuelvo a compartir esa información. Also, investigate or think 5 things your customers can do in that country I'm going to show you. Also, offer possible food from that country. and or restaurants? And finally, what transportation will they use in this country? You'll say, teacher, but what country? Well, here I have some countries and I have assigned a country for you. So, Carlos, I want you to investigate about Paris. This is a city in France. Lucia, I want you to investigate about Oslo, which is in Norway. And Azael, I want you to investigate about Tokyo. All right, Paris, Oslo, and Tokyo. So investigate that. And I want you to think about this. I'm going to take a screenshot, or I can leave it here. And I can also share it in the WhatsApp group. I'll give you, I think 5 minutes is enough. I'll give you 5 minutes to investigate. We will come back and we're going to do some role plays where each of you is going to be a travel agent with those countries. Let me show you the countries once again. Here they are. Carlos, you are going to investigate Paris, Lucia, Oslo, and Azael, you're going to do Tokyo. All right. I'm going to share this information now in the WhatsApp group as well. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll give you 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is enough. I think so. When we come back, guys, when we come back, I'm going to say, okay, Carlos, you are the travel agent. We are your customers. And we will have a conversation about that, okay? Ya voy a compartir la info que necesito que investiguen here in the WhatsApp group. There you go. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll give you 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is enough. Do you have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about what to do?
No.
All right, Lucia? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll be here. I'll activate my microphone in 5 minutes. Good luck to you. Okay, guys, welcome back. Let's see how you do. Let's see if you have enough information to be my travel agent. I want to travel. Let's see. Let's see what you have. So I'm going to share my screen here. We'll take a look at the countries you were assigned. Um, Carlos had Paris. Carlos, what information did you discover about Paris? Tell me, where are some places I can go to in Paris? Can you tell Lucia and Azael what other places can you see besides, the Eiffel Tower, which is the most popular one? What can you tell us about Paris?
Okay. Paris, do you need to visit Eiffel Tower,
Eiffel Tower, okay.
Louvre's Museum,
Oh, yeah, the Louvre Museum, very popular.
Versailles Palace,
The Versailles Palace.
Sena River,
Nice.
and Arch of Triumph.
The Arc of Triumph. There's one in Paris, and there's like a mini one in New York as well. Interesting. Okay, Carlos, what kind of food do you eat in Paris?
The
There's some very famous
the pizza is very good.
Pizza is very good. Okay.
The
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. That's yeah. There's a very famous like bread in Paris.
Baguette.
When I tell, you know what it is, Azael? Do you know what I'm gonna say?
Croissant. Croissant.
Yes, very good. The croissant. Croissant. Oof, the croissant is delicious. Croissant. Okay. Carlos, what kind of transportation can we use in Paris?
you can transportation subway
Subway.
and taxi,
Mm-hmm.
walking,
Walking. Yes.
autobus,
Yes. All right. I think.
and boat, and
Yeah.
the river Sena.
Yeah, you can use a boat on the river. That's a good one. All right. Thank you so much, Carlos. I think from what I researched, the most visited city touristically in the world every single year for the past more than 20 years has been Paris. Paris is the most visited city by tourists around the world. Thank you, Carlos, for that. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go now to Lucia. Lucia, what can you tell us about Oslo? It's not as popular as Paris, but it looks interesting. What can you tell us about Oslo, Lucia? Oh, Lucia, don't forget to unmute your microphone. Creo que está en silencio el micro.
Oslo is a capital of Norway.
Very good.
Yes. It's famous for the climb. In Oslo, the people can practice ski.
Skiing, because it's very cold, right? It's very cold in Oslo.
Yes. And two, the people can eat food, the fish. There are many restaurants with Michelin star. Yes.
Really interesting. I never thought of Norway that it was popular for its cuisine or its food, but interesting. Very good. What kind of transportation can we use in Oslo?
In Oslo, the taxi is very expensive, but
Really?
the government apoya o support the public transportation, for example, subway, trolley, ferries. Yes.
Cool. Would you want to travel to Oslo, Lucia? Would you like to see that city?
No, because I don't like the
Cold weather.
cold weather. Yes.
So you prefer hot weather, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think I'm a person, if it's too cold, it's not good. If it's too hot, it's not too cold. I like nice spring weather, spring. All right, interesting. Thank you so much, Lucia, for your information. Let's talk about Tokyo. What can you tell me about Tokyo?
Okay. If you plan to come to Tokyo, there are many places where you can go, like Ginza Avenue.
Is that a street?
Yeah, it's famous the main avenue. Well, I don't know. I think so, maybe Ginza.
Okay, cool. All right.
Imperial Clay Palace. I don't know how do you say it because it's in Japanese language. Shibuya.
Shibuya, what is that? Is it like a temple or something?
No, it's like a market.
Oh, it's a market for food.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. What kind of food can we eat in Tokyo?
Especially seafood.
Seafood, yeah. Japan it's an archipelago, right? It has many islands. Is that correct? So yeah, I can imagine. Well, very similar because Oslo, Norway it's a big island. Norway is a big island, and the things with big islands like Norway or little islands like Tokyo is that most of the things that they consume have to be imported. So I don't know too much about Tokyo. I do know that there's a lot of people that live in Tokyo in a very small space, right?
Right.
Because there's so many people, I can't imagine having a car in Tokyo. What did you find out about the transportation?
The bullet train.
The bullet train. This is a train that uses what kind of transportation is that?
It's like a subway, no? Well, I think this is the transportation most faster in the world above the trains.
Yes. From what I know, this bullet train that Azael is talking about, it's a train that does not use carbon fuel. It uses electricity, right?
Right.
Interesting. Super fast. So cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, let's do something else, guys. I just wanted to share this here with you. It's a little quote that says, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." Right? So we have to take chances in life, and if you can travel, great. That'd be the best. Now we're going to compare some cities, and to compare the cities, when we're comparing cities or people or things, remember that we use something called comparative adjectives and superlatives. You know this. I'm going to give you some examples here. Remember that an adjective is a word that describes a person, a place, or a thing. For example, big. Big is an adjective. Green, fantastic, intelligent. So the normal word is big. We can say, for example, Brazil is big. And when we are going to compare two things, we use this comparative, usually like this. Brazil is bigger than Peru. So when it has one syllable, we add the ER in the pronunciation, bigger. And when we're going to say about the most or the extreme, most or least in a group, el más o el menos de un grupo, we use the superlative. For example, Brazil is the biggest country in South America. So for the superlative, we use the EST sound, est, biggest. And usually we use the article the biggest, the smallest, etc. Now, when we are going to compare some things and we're going to use an adjective that has 2 or more syllables, las sílabas son esas pequeñas pausas que hay dentro de las palabras. For example, glamorous. Glamorous has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Glamorous has three syllables. Glamorous. In this case, the normal adjective is glamorous. The MEO words are glamorous. This is an example. When we are going to compare 2 people or 2 objects, we use more, the word more, and then the adjective, more glamorous. The Grammy Awards are more glamorous than the Emmys. And finally, when we're going to talk about the most or the least in a group, and we're using an adjective that has 2 or more syllables, we say the most, el más in Spanish. The Oscars are the most glamorous award show. So there you go. Now we're going to use comparatives and superlatives to compare 2 different countries. I need you to look at these countries we have here, or these cities. We have Cairo and Brasilia and New Delhi, Madrid. We have Seoul and we have Beijing. I want you to think, look at these cities, and I want you to tell me how they are different. I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about it. Maybe you can write down your answer. Think about it. We're going to compare Cairo with Brasilia, New Delhi with Madrid, and Seoul with Beijing. I'll give you some time, and we'll come back and we'll compare it. I'm going to share a picture of this in the WhatsApp group, so you have it there. You don't have to investigate. I mean, I don't want you to take too much time. No se trata de mucho tiempo de investigar ni nada así. Solamente piénselo. Cosas que se le vengan a la cabeza nomás. Share it there. Ahí compartir la imagen en el grupo de WhatsApp. Just think about it. Think about it. All right. If you want, I will begin because we have 2. We have more. We're going to compare more, but I'll do one comparison from Cairo and Brazil. I don't know too much about climate or weather, but I do know, because I have seen movies, that in Egypt there's like deserts, because you see the camels and you see a lot of sand. And in Brazil, there's like a rainforest, so it's very humid. So I could say a comparison is that Cairo is drier than Brazil, or Brazil is more humid than Cairo. Brasilia is more humid than Cairo. Let's see, Carlos, what things can you compare here? Can you compare any of these countries to the other ones? What can you think about, Carlos?
Cairo is smaller than Brasilia.
Cairo is smaller than Brasilia. That's true, right? But Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. Many people think of Rio de Janeiro, right? Because it's a very popular city. But you're right, Cairo is smaller than Brasilia. That's a good comparison. Lucia, what can you think of? Maybe you can compare any of these countries here.
Yes. ¿Dónde estoy? Acá. Nueva Delhi is more dangerous than Madrid.
That's very good, Lucia. That's fantastic. New Delhi is more dangerous than Madrid. You're right. I don't know if you guys have seen maybe videos or in movies and pictures of when you see people commuting using the train as transportation. Wow, it's crazy. People on top of the train, so many people inside of the train, people hanging off the sides. It's super, super dangerous. And of course, we know that maybe the economy in New Delhi does not compare to Madrid. And of course, that contributes to a more dangerous society. Very good of observation there, Lucia. I'm going to go now to Azael, what can you tell me? What comparison can you make from these countries, Azael?
Beijing has more population than Seoul.
Yeah, it has more population for sure. I would say that whew, population is bigger. It's much
Yeah.
bigger, and you know, China some years ago they had a very famous law, una ley, a very famous law where couples can only have one child. They are beginning to change this law because they see that the younger population is getting smaller and smaller, and this is not good for the retirement plans of the older population. They need young people to pay taxes, to pay the retirement of the older population. So, and of course, they need the economy to continue, and you need people to work. So, yeah, for sure, for sure, very interesting. I'll tell you something. I think it's super interesting, and I think that Netflix and other streaming platforms are very I would say they are responsible for making South Korea so popular with music and with their series and their culture. I mean, South Korea is super popular now with everything, right? I mean,
K-pop.
what is that, Asael?
K-pop.
For sure, K-pop and all of these series that are very popular now. I mean, here in Colombia, I see people watching the South Korean soap operas. Soap operas on telenovelas, very popular soap operas. Everybody's watching. I watch a couple of series too. I mean, I'm not a huge fan. I don't watch, a lot of them, but I have watched two series from South Korea, and they're very good. Very interesting. I think it's very interesting. All right, we have some other countries here. Let's take a look at. We have Berlin, Bogota, we have Buenos Aires, we have Moscow, we have Mexico City, and Sydney. I want you to take a couple of minutes, think about these cities, think of maybe, I don't know, landmarks or cultural items that come to your mind, and maybe we can compare these two cities. But take a look at that. Take a look at that. Carlos, what comparison can you make? Now, you don't have to compare Berlin with Bogota. You can compare Berlin or with Moscow or Buenos Aires with Sydney. You can really mix it up. It's up to you. Any comparison that you can make. Carlos, what can you tell me about any comparison of these two cities here? Two cities here, or any two cities?
Oh my God. The Sausage of Berlin is more famous than the sausage Colombian.
Very good. The sausage. Sausage. It's like how would you say it? It's like como un cábano or chorizo. How would you say it in Spanish, Carlos? Sausage. I don't know how to translate that.
Es como una salchicha grande.
Sí, como una salchicha. The sausage of Berlin. It's you know your food, Carlos. Congratulations, you know your food. That's true. The German sausage is very popular. In fact, I think Germany is very popular for their sausages because there's a city called Frankfurt in Germany. Frankfurt is a brand of hot dogs. Es una marca de salchichas internacional, Frankfurt. But it's also the name of a city. So I guess they must be very famous for their sausages. The German sausage is more popular for sure. It's more delicious, says Carlos. Thank you very much, Carlos, for that comparison. Lucia, what comparison can you make here from these cities?
For me, the people live in Buenos Aires are more funnier than the people live in Moscow.
They're funnier. They're funnier. Okay, yeah, you're right. Russians are more serious, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the government. I don't know, but the people in Argentina are funnier than the people in Russia for sure. That's a good comparison. Thank you, Lucia. Azael, what comparison can you make here from these cities?
Okay, Mexico has more famous food than Sydney.
It has more what? I'm sorry.
Famous food than
Oh
Sydney.
yeah, it has more famous food for
Like
sure.
tacos, tacos.
Tacos and burritos and enchiladas and chimichangas. Oh, those are good, huh? Now you're right. You know, Australia is not very popular for its cuisine. They are not very popular. Mexican food is more popular for sure. I think it's what it Mexican food and Chinese rice. Now I don't understand the Chinese rice because I mean it's just rice with I mean a few elements and you can see a Chinese rice restaurant anywhere in the world. You can find Chinese rice restaurants in Colombia and Peru and Honduras and Germany, but you won't find an Australian food restaurant in every city. And the Mexican has a lot of variety in their cuisine, right? I mean, as I talked about the tacos, but you know, we think about tacos and burritos and all this Mexican food. I don't understand why Chinese rice is so popular. Maybe you guys can tell me. Why do you think Chinese rice is so popular, Lucia? Why is it that in every city we have a Chinese rice restaurant? I never understood that. What is your theory?
Because the food is more cheaper.
It's cheaper. That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that is definitely a big factor. Why do you think that Chinese rice is so popular around the world?
Maybe because the population in the world is the most population is China.
Yeah,
I
that
can see-
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And you know, China, you know, a lot of people in China are learning English. They teach English a lot in the schools, and a lot of people take English courses. So if you think about it, and on one of the surveys, una de las encuestas that they have done on China, China is the biggest English speaking country in the world, bigger than the United States, bigger than Canada, because of what Azael said, the population is just so big. So I always thought that's interesting. All right, guys. So I wanted to change the topic here, and I wanted to talk about 20 inventions that will change the future. I'm going to need your help to read this information. We're going to take turns. You see, I have bullet points here. We have 3 points. And so I'm going to ask each one of you to read one of the bullet points. I'm going to start with Carlos. Please start with number 1 here.
Excuse me, repeat, please. Lucho.
Sure. Just read the first sentence here, please. The first sentence. By 2030. That one.
Oh, I'm lost.
No, don't worry. Solo lea esta primera frase aquí. La primera.
Read the sentence. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
please.
By 2030, we will have self-driving cars that can safely navigate city streets and highways.
Very good. Good pronunciation there. Carlos, Lucia, can you help me with number 2?
Yes, in the future, medical technology will advance to the point where doctors can cure almost any
Disease.
disease.
Very good, Lucia. Thank you very much. Azael, can you help me with the third one, please?
Yeah, but I have a question. What do you mean
Sure.
disease?
What does disease mean? What is it? What is the meaning? Disease is enfermedad.
Okay. No, is similar as illness?
Well, let's say it's kind of similar, but it's not the same because, for example, HIV is a disease, but a cold, una gripa, is not a disease. So there's a little bit different. But you know what? We can ask Carlos, because Carlos, you're a doctor. What's the difference between a disease and a sickness? What's the difference? Like, I know that una enfermedad, hay enfermedades como más graves, mientras que una gripa no es una enfermedad. So what is the difference between a disease and a sickness?
Pues
Good question.
symptoms is different.
The symptoms, okay.
Symptoms is different. What you say.
Like, I have a question. Do you think cancer is considered a disease? I don't know. I think there has to be some characteristics that, you're right, the symptoms is definitely one, but there is a difference for sure.
Disease
I
is more
think-
dangerous, right?
Oh yeah, I would think
Okay.
that a disease is more dangerous. Could be terminal. A disease
Oh.
can be terminal, yeah.
Okay,
While
gotcha.
most sicknesses are not terminal. But if we look at the second point here, I think this is good and bad. Good because I think people will live more time. I think the average, I don't know what the average life expectancy is, la vida útil de un ser humano últimamente, el promedio. I don't know what the life expectancy of a human is now. I think it is almost 80 years old. And if doctors can cure almost any disease in the future, people are going to live much more time. But then this becomes a problem with the world population because it will be so big, right? But that's a problem for the future. Azael, all right, help me out with number 3 here.
Okay, by 2050, we will have flying cars that can transport people and goods quickly and efficiently.
I don't know about that one, guys. Listen, I'm 43 years old. I remember when I was 9 years old. When I was 9 years old, and it was like 1988, I remember everybody talking about, oh no, in the year 2000, we were going to have flying cars, like in the movie Back to the Future. No, flying cars and everything going to be super technological. And look, it's the year 2023, no flying cars. So I don't know about the flying cars. What do you think, Lucia? Do you think we will really have flying cars by 2050?
And now maybe yes, because the ay, ¿cómo se dice eso que toman de arriba? Me olvidé el nombre.
Airplanes?
Yes, los que toman fotografía o filman de arriba.
The drones.
Right.
Yes. Because I listen that drones in the future could be transportation, the people, and
Oh, that's
and food
interesting.
or things. Yes.
That's true. That's true. You know, you're right. In fact, I think in some countries of the world they are already using drones for delivery. Amazon uses drones for the delivery of products. But you know, I didn't think about that, Lucia. That's a very good point. Maybe drones will be the flying cars.
I read in the New York now. The people arrive the Fitzgerald, the airport Fitzgerald Kennedy, the capital, the New York, the Manhattan, to airport in a helicopter.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well,
Really, no.
that, you know, I also read that in Brazil right now, I mean, the people that have a lot of money, you know, not English teachers like me. The people that have a lot of money in Brazil, they use helicopter to transport, you know, from their job to their house, and that's normal in Brazil. So I don't know. I think what you said about the drones is a very good point. Azael, do you think we're gonna have flying cars? Do you think it's gonna be possible?
It's possible, but I think no. Well, in the future, I think not happen that.
Why do you think it won't happen? Why?
Because now maybe the companies fight, struggle or fight. I don't know what is the word.
Yeah, struggle. Mhm.
Struggle for electronic cars,
Mm.
Tesla.
Why are they struggling? What is the problem? Is it the batteries or what's the problem?
No, the struggle is what is the number one company to create
Ah.
the earn or the win the market about the cars, electronic cars.
I see. I see. Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be a big struggle.
Yeah, because
And
in the future is the no not driving more. The cars driving alone.
yeah, by themselves.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems with traffic that we have in the world now, it's not the cars, it's people. And I have read that if in the future all of the cars drive themselves, no human, just the car driving itself, and the humans would be with passengers, the transportation, there would be no more traffic jams. No habría esos trancones de tráfico. They would not exist because the traffic would be very smooth. There would be no stops. There would be no accidents. We would not need a lot of the things that we use now. And so I think that's going to solve a lot of the traffic problems in the future. I think, but what do I know? I'm just an English teacher. What
Yes, yes. So I don't know if the war lasts until that year.
That's true. You never know, right? You never know when it's time, right?
I know.
It's tough. All right. Well, thank you so much for your participation there, Carlos. I'm going to need you to help me with the first bullet point here, Carlos. Start with in the coming years, please.
The robots.
Oh, here, this. Can you please read this line here?
Oh,
In the coming years.
in the coming years. I don't know.
In the coming, just read in the coming years, virtual reality, and then continue. El primer punto, Carlos.
Yeah.
Can you
what
see my
say,
screen? Can you see my screen? ¿Me puede ver la pantalla, Carlos?
Sí. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
El primer punto. No, solamente léalo, Carlos. Solo lean.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
In the coming years, virtual reality will become more advanced, allowing people to experience new environments and sensations.
Very good. Environments.
Okay. And sensations.
Very good. Okay. Lucia, can you read the second point, please?
Yes, by 2040, we will have robots that can perform complex tasks such as surgery and construction.
Construction. Very good. And Azael, can you please read the third point?
In the future, we will have renewable energy sources that can provide clean and sustainable power to homes and businesses.
Very good. Now, I think some of these things are already happening. In the first point, they talk about virtual reality. This is already happening. There are many virtual reality games and platforms that people are using, and they are even using virtual reality for medical surgeries and procedures. That's happening now. I think in the future it will be better because I think we will be able to smell, maybe feel things in a virtual world. Azael, do you play video games at all?
No.
You don't play video games, but you know about virtual reality, right?
Yeah, the VR. Yeah.
VR. Have you ever experienced the virtual reality? Have you tried it?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, it's very interesting, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be good for medicine, for surgeries, but it's going to be very bad because for the social aspect of people, because now with this technology, many people don't like to go out, they don't like to communicate, nobody wants to make a phone call anymore. Everybody wants to text. Nobody wants to talk to people on the phone anymore. And I think with these virtual realities, I think many people are going to even communicate less with other people. They're going to be immersed in virtual worlds in the future. I think it's going to be a real thing. And so I don't know if that's positive. But in the second point here, we talk about robots that can perform complex tasks such as surgery and construction. We're having that now. You know, my father had a prostate surgery last year, and he lives in the United States. And he said that they did the surgery with a robot, and they didn't use a laser. They used water. It was like a water pressure thing there. Carlos, what kind of surgery do we use? Do we still use humans for prostate surgeries here in Colombia? I'm very worried because in 20 years, maybe I'm gonna have a surgery for this. What kind of technology do we use here, Carlos, for that? Is still human, or do we use robots? Do we use virtual reality? What do we use here in Colombia? What do you know about surgeries with robots or technology, Carlos?
In medicine, the robots is a new technology. It's very important for surgery.
And do you think that maybe in 2040 we will have much more surgeries with robots here in Colombia? Do you think that's going to be possible?
Yeah, today is more surgery that is controlled by robots.
Wow. Well, I think that's good. I think it's good for medicine. I think it's good for medicine because that way there is less mistakes. Because I think one of the problems with surgeries is that sometimes humans make mistakes. And when you make a mistake in medicine, it can be very expensive or it can be very dangerous for the patient. So interesting. Thank you very much, Carlos. And finally, here in the future, we will have renewable sources that can provide clean and sustainable power to homes and businesses. You know, guys, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Many people, the government and the Illuminati and all these crazy things. I don't believe in conspiracies, but I do think that right now in 2023, we have renewable energy. We have the power that doesn't have to use fossil fuel and gasoline and these types of fuels. But the big businesses that control the oil and all these things don't let it happen because it can affect their business. What do you think, Lucia? Do you think this will be possible where in the future we're going to use renewable energy sources? Do you really think it can happen?
Yes. Now in my country, they use the sun. In the day, the sun.
We say solar power. Solar power.
¿Cómo se dice, teacher?
Solar. Se escribe igual solar, pero la A se pronuncia como una E. Solar power.
Yes.
Where do you
for
live, Lucia? Where do you live right now?
in Argentina.
You live in Argentina, so they're using a lot of solar power. Interesting.
Yes. For the hot water and
Now, but who uses that solar power? Is used by the power companies, or is it people individually use the solar power?
I don't
Like,
understand.
is it the electric company that's using the solar power?
It
or-
is the house. The house use the solar
Wow.
water for hot
Solar
water
panels, yeah.
and the electricity
Interesting. Or for
the
the hot water and electricity.
and
Cool.
and the electricity in the street and the yes, in the night.
Very good. I think it's necessary to look for other options because fossil fuels, the energy we're using now, it's gonna run out. Run out es otro phrase que significa agotarse. It's gonna run out. So yeah, I think we have to look for other alternatives. Okay, let's go to the next one. Carlos, tell me about the first bullet point, please. Can you please read the first bullet point?
By 2035, we will have biodegradable materials that can replace plastic and reduce waste.
Very good. You did very good. This is a very difficult word here, biodegradable. That's a hard one. You did very well. All right, Lucia, please read the second bullet point.
Yes, in the coming years, space travel will become more accessible, allowing people to travel to other planets and beyond.
Beyond, yes, beyond,
Yeah.
más allá. Very good. All right, Asael, can you read the third one for me?
By 2050, we have advanced artificial intelligence that can perform tasks and make decisions on par with human intelligence.
Yeah, well, I am sure that you guys know in the past, 3 or 4 months, there has been a huge increase in artificial intelligence use with ChatGPT, and now Microsoft has it on Bing. In fact, I use some of it as well. If you go here, this is Microsoft Edge, and here in this icon, if I press this here, this is it's like a ChatGPT that is integrated into the browser in el buscador. So I can say, what is the best place in the let's talk about the renewable energy. What renewable energy is Colombia using today? I'm going to ask this. I'm going to see what it tells me here. Let's see what it tells me. I don't know. Hopefully this tells me something here. Searching. So this is already integrated into this. There you go, and it gives me the information. So it says here, in Colombia, hydropower is currently the dominant source of energy in Colombia, accounting for 69.6% of power generation, blah, 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 blah. So I think, and like this, there are many things. I saw a website the other day that now you can say the topic and it creates like a presentation. No como esta, que me demoré mucho en esta. But it can create a simple presentation. ChatGPT and other AI platforms can now do coding, programación de computadores. So it's crazy, all these things that are happening now with artificial intelligence. I can't imagine what's going to happen in the future, but technology is like that. You never imagine what's going to happen. Azael, can you imagine? I mean, how old are you, Azael? If you don't mind my questioning, how old are you?
27.
Okay, you're 27. I remember when I was 27, we're talking about the year 2006. The internet was not what it was today. In fact, I'm going to go back to when I was 19. When I was 19, if you told me there's going to be phones that you can, cell phones, that we had cell phones in 1998. We'd had cell phones, but not like the smartphones we have now. But if you were to tell me in 1998, in the future, we're going to have cell phones that can take a picture and you can send that picture to China in 1 second, I'd say you're crazy. I mean, nobody would even imagine that. And look what, now nobody can live without their phone, right? If you don't have a smartphone, you can't use many applications. You can't do a lot of things. So I can't imagine. And that's just, you know, from 1998 to 2023, you say, oh, es mucho tiempo, because you're 27. You say that's a long time, but it's really not. It's really not a long time. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you another example. This is the way that technology is growing. I can say, I mean, growing or getting better, but a better word for growing, cuando hablamos de esto, is improving. So improving technology. So let's go back. If you go back to the year 1430, and then you fast forward in time and you go to the year 1460, there is basically no change in technology. No change. But if you go from 1990 and you fast forward 30 years, right, to do that 2020, the technology here is crazy. This same 30 years that happened here, and this is a huge difference. So I can't imagine if we're in the year 2023 and we go to the year 2053, I can't imagine what the technology here. This is going to be crazy, ridiculous. I can only imagine what we're going to see in the future. All right, guys, let's stop there with these inventions. Let's talk about something else. All right, let's do this one here. I have this activity for you guys. This is a very small activity for pronunciation. I'm gonna share my screen with the sound and everything so you can see how to do this activity. I have this activity that's gonna help you with pronunciation, and it's gonna work on something called minimal pairs. So let me show you what that is. Minimal pairs are sounds that are very similar in English. It's just a very small change. So let's take a look at that. So I am going to share this link, and I want you to look at the sounds we have here. We have the I and E sound. I and E. It's a very small sound, but it can make a big difference. This is very common when you pronounce, for example, the word this. I. This is the I sound. And these. And here we have that sound here, E. So you click on the word, sit, and then you have to pronounce. For example, sit, seat. And if you pronounce it correctly, it will write the word correctly. This exercise is just to practice these vowel sounds that are very similar. We have and E and A and We have many vowel sounds that are very, very close and similar. Practice that pronunciation. And when you are finished, you are going to click here on finish. And then you click on check my answers. And it will tell you which ones are correct and which ones are not correct. Pero tienen que darle permiso para que utilice el micrófono de su computador. This one will only work, solo funciona en Google Chrome o Microsoft Edge. Quizás no le funcione bien en, Microsoft Edge y Chrome, y no funciona bien en Firefox. Si están usando Firefox, so be careful with that. Vamos a hacer esta actividad rápidamente. We will come back, and then I'm going to show you the activity we're going to do, that homework I'm going to give you that you're going to do when we are not in class, okay? But let's do this activity really quick. I'll give you some minutes. And as soon as you finish, somebody raise your hand so I can continue. Ahí les acabo de compartir el link por el grupo de WhatsApp. Good luck, guys. Ah, Lucía, si me está hablando, tiene micrófono mute.
Teacher, I obtuve 2 De 10, 2 de 10.
Two of 10?
Sí.
All right. You know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but
My
remember,
microphone, no.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think the problem with you, Lucia, it could be that you just need a little bit more of a microphone.
Yes.
In your case, but no, when you get a chance, you can use headphones with a microphone. You can try the exercise again and again. Se puede repetir las veces que quiera para que siga ensayando ahí, practicando. De eso se trata. La repetición también ayuda. All right. We're going to come back, guys. I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you before we finish today the homework assignment I'm going to give you that's going to be very easy and necessary for you to improve in your classes, because I'm going to go back here. You know what? Voy a salir de aquí como si no estuviera metido. Voy a salir de acá. Ok. Tengo que meterme aquí en otra ventana, porque como aquí estoy como teacher, si hago la misma, se me cancela. Bueno, vamos a usar esta página, USA Learns. It's a very good webpage to practice your English and practice things that maybe you want to work on, like listening, reading. It really works all of the skills, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar. It works a lot of topics and a lot of skills. What you're going to do, class, is you're going to click here where it says start now, aquí en la parte superior mano derecha, or you can also click here where it says start now, up to you. So once you click there, you are going to need to register. You are going to need to use an address, email address, your first name, your last name, and a password. The password should be at least 6 letters or numbers, no spaces. Es muy importante, clase, que no se les vaya a olvidar la contraseña para que no pierdan el progreso. Okay? And then you should also confirm the password.
La página,
yes.
La página es USA Learns.
Yeah, US Learns, pero tranquilo, a saber que todas las instrucciones que estoy dando en este momento se las voy a volver a compartir en un documento de Word para que ustedes puedan ver paso a paso qué hacer, okay?
Okay.
All right, so once you are here, once you register, right, digamos que ya se registraron, entonces yo me voy a meter como si fuera estudiante, right, and once you are here, registraron y demás, van a llegar a esta página. Once you are here, mire que en la parte superior tenemos unas opciones. Le van a hacer clic aquí que dice Enroll in my teacher's class. Enroll significa matricular. Matricularse en la clase de mi profe. You click there and it's going to ask you for a class key, una clave de clase. Dicha información, todo esto que les estoy mostrando a ustedes, va a estar en este documento de Word que pueden ver ustedes cuando terminen la clase. Yo voy a compartir este documento. Pueden ver todos los pasos que les estoy mostrando en este momento, y también aquí está la clave que necesitan para ponerla ahí donde le mencioné. Una vez pongan esa clave allí, van a ver esto acá. Ustedes van a hacer este curso, no todo porque es muy extenso, pero sí una sección. Va a decir Pronunciation Course with Teacher Lucho. That's not me, guys. It's not me. I'm close, but I'm not there yet. I'm close to this guy. You press start now. And once you are there, you see we have many units. I need you to only do the first unit, but it's very long. So you click on family, and you see we have 10 subunits, 10 subunidades. Van a ser esas 10. Cada una tiene sus actividades. Cada subunidad tiene sus actividades. In cada una, you're going to have a little reading comprehension, and you can listen and read at the same time. This is a very, very, very good exercise. Una de las mejores es poder leer y escuchar a la vez. Es la razón por la cual había sugerido escoger una serie en inglés y verla en inglés con subtítulos en inglés. Aunque no lo creen, ustedes allí están asimilando vocabulario, están aprendiendo gramática de manera implícita y está comprobado que una vez uno vea una palabra en contexto mínimo de 70 veces, uno se aprende la definición de la palabra y su uso sin tener que utilizar un diccionario. Ahora, imagínense cuántos textos tienen que leer para ver esa una palabra 70 veces, ¿cierto? Pero sí es posible y así se hace. De hecho, así aprende el idioma un bebé que no sabe nada de gramática, que no sabe nada de las reglas que normalmente vemos en clase, ¿cierto? All right, so you'll see you have a vocabulary, you have reading, I'm sorry, and after the reading, oh, when you finish, by the way, when you finish, you'll see that you have like a little box. If the box is completely filled, si la caja está completamente llena, es porque han terminado. Algunas actividades tienen puntaje, otras no. Esta no tiene puntaje porque no tienen que hacer nada, solamente leer. But maybe in this activity, in the vocabulary activities, you do have to do some things. Here, you will learn the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and the definition. Okay, so you'll go through all the vocabulary. I'm not going to do it now. But when you finish, you'll get a score here. Las que tienen como un puntico ahí redondos, porque esas sí tienen puntaje. Hasta tiene una sección para que ustedes practiquen la pronunciación de la palabra. Y también tiene preguntas de comprensión y hasta de escritura. Y tiene quiz de la historia también. Entonces, aquí vamos a practicar pronunciación, vocabulario, escritura, lectura, everything. All right? But remember, the idea is to do the 10 subunits, que son de esta primera nomás, que es de family. Pues la unidad es family, que tiene 10 subunidades. La idea es que lo terminen de aquí a la finalización del curso. Hoy es la primera clase. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We finish this course the 4th of May. El 4 de mayo termina el curso, de manera que tiene hasta el 4 de mayo para terminar esta primera unidad de family, que tiene 10 subunidades. Does anybody have a question so far about this assignment? Okay, remember guys, aunque no estemos en clase, así no estemos en clase, si tienen una pregunta, una duda, quieren un ejercicio en específico, qué sé yo, usted dice, no, profe, ¿sabe que necesito un repaso del presente simple? Quiero trabajar más esto, tiene más ejercicios de escucha, cualquier cosa. Yo tengo una abundancia de ejercicios y recursos para todas las habilidades que quieran trabajar. Yo con mucho gusto, así no estemos en clase, me escriben por interno y yo con mucho gusto les comparto esos recursos. Después de cada clase siempre les voy a compartir las diapositivas que utilizamos en la clase y también la grabación de la clase por si quieren volver a repasarla. Entonces, pues ese es el trabajo aquel, el cual hablábamos, Lucía. That's going to be the homework that you can do. And guys, it's very good, but I recommend that you use USA Learns on your computer, because if you use it on your cell phone, you can only do the first course. And for this one, we need to do course number 3. But I'm going to share the information again, the Word document, so you can see step by step how you go into USA Learns and everything you need to do. And if you have any questions, you can also write me, okay? But wait, we're not finished yet. I want to do one more game, all right? I want to do one more game really fast. Lucia, Carlos, and Asael, I need you to think of 3 words in English, only 3 words. Write them down somewhere. Don't tell me, don't share them. Write them down. Think of only 3 words. Carlos, ya hemos jugado este juego. Piensen en 3 palabras. No tienen que estar conectadas la una con la otra. Solamente escríbalos donde usted lo pueda ver. Y cuando terminen me dicen, y vamos a hacer una actividad aquí rápidamente antes de irnos, ¿ok? 3 words in English. Write down 3 words somewhere. On your computer, on a piece of paper. Don't show me, don't show anybody, just for you. Just write down those 3 words. Think about them. And then we'll play this game really quick here before we leave. Who can it be now?
Uh-huh.
You got it? All right. So this is what we're gonna do now, guys. Think about it. If you're not finished, I'll tell you what we're gonna do and how we're gonna play here. It's Tuesday and Thursday. All right, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do, guys. So I have 3 words, Lucia has 3 words, Azael has 3 words, Carlos has 3 words. You are going to describe your words to the class, and we have to try to think and guess what is the word. So for example, imagine my first word is the word dog. I have to describe the word dog, but I cannot say dog to you. So I would say, okay, my first word is an animal. It goes woof, woof. It is the cat's biggest enemy. It is man's best friend. It has 4 legs. And I continue to describe the word until you guys say, dog. See, so it's kind of like a charades, but with words, So I'm going to go first because this was my game. All right, so I'm going to go first. The first person to say it, you can write it in the Google Meet chat, up to you. Okay, this is my first word. This is the word that we use to talk about the temperature of a place. When you turn on maybe the TV and you want to see if it's going to be cold or the hot, and you want to
Control.
see what is that, Azai?
Control.
Control. Very, very simple, very close. Continue. You turn on the TV and the news because you want to see if it's going to rain or if it's going to be sunny or if it's going to be cold or it's going to be hot or it's going to be windy. What is that called? Or many people. Lucia, unmute your microphone.
Whether no that
You got it. Weather.
Uh,
Yes. We usually turn on the TV if we want to see the weather. If it's going to rain, what kind of weather we're going to have. A synonym is climate, but weather is the one I was going to use. So very good for you. Point for you, Lucia. Point for you. There you go. You got it. Who wants to go first? Carlos, Lucia, or Azai? Who wants to go first? Lucy, you want to go first? Since you got this one, why don't you go first, Lucia?
yes, the people use for the go or for to move the one place other place.
Ooh, that's a good description. Carlos, Azael, people use this to go from one place to another place?
Car.
No, the
Maybe I know what you're thinking. The
the
category.
People, no, the people the word describe the action for the move the one place other place.
Oh, that's a good description. Guys, this one's easy. She's giving you gold here.
Travel.
Yes.
Very good, Carlos. All right, Carlos, it's your turn. Give me one of yours.
Well, my word is a fruit.
It's a fruit.
The fruit is orange. Oh, sorry.
No. Es que, ¿sabe por qué, Carlos? Porque es el color y es el nombre de la fruta. Es que por eso.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Go. Use your second word. Use the second.
Okay. Bueno, the word is a fish. It's a big fish. It's danger.
Shark.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, Lucia, you're very good at this game. You're very good. Asael, what do you have? Give me one of your words.
Is the item that you use to fix something.
Can you say that again? It's the what that you use to fix something?
It's an item that you use to fix something.
Ooh.
Fishing.
No, I know the word. It's the thing that you use to fix something. Ay, that's a very good word. I know the word. I'm gonna tell you internally.
It's not a special. It's not a special. This word is,
Not specific. I know what you mean.
yeah, it's a general word.
Food, food.
Wow. Wow, you got it. You're so good, Lucia. It was two. You're so good. All right, I'm gonna go with another one. I'm gonna go with one. Okay. You might know this one. You might not. Uh, Today we talked about this category. Many games. People watch soccer and football. These are games that are all they're specific. Football is a and hockey is a, and baseball
Football
is a.
game, play football game.
Sport.
You got it, Carlos. Sport.
Oh,
Sport. You got it. You got it. You got it. Very good. Lucia, why don't you go with one of yours?
the people like or the people use for meet with other people in dinner, on in lunch hour. The people put in the table.
People put this on the table to meet people.
Yes.
Huh.
In general word.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Is it a cell phone?
No. The people use for have more strong.
To have more strength. Huh.
Gym.
Gym,
What?
says Carlos. Gym.
No. The people use for meet with other people.
Social media.
Social media.
No.
That's a good one. Azael, that's a good one.
Describe breakfast and our lunch and our dinner.
Schedule.
No.
Vitamins.
Menu.
Vitamins.
Menu.
No. Yes, use for menu in word general. Describe general.
Ah, ya sé. Espere. ¿Cómo se llama? Es que no sé cómo se diga. Receta.
Recipe.
Yes.
Ah, wow. Azael, that's amazing. I would have never got that. You did very well. Recipe. I was thinking to meet people. Oh, it makes sense. Now when you say it, okay, now it makes sense. Like, but all right. Thank you very much, Lucia. You did great. Carlos, give me one of yours.
My word is a country. It's Iceland.
What
it-
ocean? Oh.
it is the communist country. The drinks favorite is mojito.
Yes, Cuba.
Okay.
Oh, it was right here. You're so good, Lucia. You're so good. That's a good description, Carlos, with your mojitos. And Azael, give me another word, please. This could be the last one.
You use it to write in a notebook.
Easy. This is easy, guys.
Pen.
Yes.
You got it. Oh man, you guys did great. You guys did very, very well. Well, thank you so much. It was really my pleasure to have you guys here. And I will see you guys in 2 days. I'll see you guys in 48 hours. You'll see my face again, and I will see your face again. Remember, if you have any questions, remember to write me. I'm going to share all the material that I told you about today in the WhatsApp group, so you can use it. I'll share the link of the class. I'll share the PowerPoint presentation, and I will share the Word document with the steps for you to do USA Learns. Guys, thank you so much. It was my pleasure to have conversations with you guys and get to know you, and I can't wait to continue on Thursday. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Take care, guys.
Okay,
Bye,
see ya.
teacher. Good night.
Bye bye,
Fantastic night,
Lucho.
guys. Take care.
Bye bye, group.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.